Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're here at my listing at 208 Pamela Drive. So we've been getting a lot of questions on maintaining the pool. In this video, we want to go through how you do that, the weekly maintenance, the monthly maintenance, the yearly maintenance, and show you how it's really not that hard to maintain something like that by yourself. So come on by, see how we clean this pool.
Okay, so maintenance of this pool is very simple. It's very easy. It's about 30,000 gallons of water. It's a bromine system. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn on the pool and show you how it all works. So the switch is on a timer here. You can either run a timer or do it like me. I just do it by hand, you know. So you turn the switch on. There's air inside of your filter tank, so you got to give it a little bit, open it up and let the air come out. You'll see water drip out. And once you see that, close it up, turn your heater on, and I got it set to 85 degrees. And it's already at 85 degrees, so it's gonna it'll cycle on when it senses the cold. So once a week, it's a bromine system. We use what it's called dielectric earth, but this goes in the filter system, and you do that about once a year. You have to pull this out, and I'll show you how to take it all apart, pull it out, and clean it at some point. But I'm just going to explain that it's easy to do, and when you're done, you put in eight cups of this stuff, and you put it in right there at the intake. So once a week, this is my once a week, I turn the pool on, and I have to put in bromine tabs. So this is for kids that pee in your pool, you know. But it keeps your pool clean. I do about a half a cup, about 20 tabs, and you just pour it right in there. And that's good for a week.
And you do this throughout summer and winter, correct?
Yeah. Well, in the winter, if you run it, you do it just like this. But a lot of winters lately, because it's not a lot of kids swim in the winter, you know, even if it's an indoor pool. So I've been shutting it off the last few years in winter because we're getting older and we don't swim as much. But then you would do this once a month.
Okay.
And run it for about 8 hours. And then, after you get your tabs in, you have to have your shock. And this is all bromine, like I say. You do about 1 cup. Because chlorine system it's more corrosive, number one, and it's more expensive, number two. And most hot tubs and indoor pool facilities use bromine because it's cheap. So you just pour it in just like this, a little bit at a time, let it dissipate in the return. And this stuff's really powerful. That's why they call it shock.
And have you been doing this by yourself throughout?
Yeah. When I first moved in, the homeowner, he was I could never get in touch with him.
Yeah.
So I had a pool guy come in, and he kind of showed me the ropes. And he was pretty good. Unfortunately, he's retired. He was like the best pool guy ever, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're hard to come by, good pool guys.
And this is what you do every week?
Once
correct?
a week I do this.
Once a week? Okay.
And it's pretty minimal. I mean, a cup of this is probably about $15, $20.
Okay.
You know? And then the bromine shock, same thing. It's about maybe $15, maybe even only 10 for a half a cup of the shock.
Okay.
So I put a little in the hot tub.
And what is the fan for?
The humidity.
Okay.
If you see that, there's a monitor over there that shows you the humidity. So I like to keep the humidity under 60% in here. It's hard because it's always about 62 to 68%. And if it gets higher, I'll turn the fan up. Right now it's on low. When it gets real hot, I'll turn it on high.
Okay. So just that kind of just depends on the temperature of the outside, correct?
Yeah, and you know, like if I leave the doors open, the screen doors, it's perfect. Like right now it's about 85 outside, 82 or something, and it's pretty nice in here.
Yeah.
It's about 80 degrees. The pool's 85, and the humidity is only about 60%. Not too good.
Okay.
So,
that's when you will run the fan on low.
yeah.
Okay.
And normally I got it on low all the time until it's like 90 to 100 degrees. When it gets over 90.
Yeah.
I'll turn on high. Like the one day I had it on high, and I'll show you. Anyways, got to put water in once a week. It's just a little low. You want the water to be just above this return.
Okay. So once a week, where you're adding the tabs, you're adding the powder, and then you're filling the
A little bit of water
little bit of water.
because it's always going to evaporate. Even though it's indoor, it still evaporates.
Okay.
And that's about it. It's pretty simple to take care of, pretty inexpensive. The heater runs all the time, but it cycles just like a furnace in your home.
Yeah.
When it senses the temperature's good, it shuts off. So right now it's not even running. It won't run again until it senses that it's cold.
Okay. And what's the process of like if I wanted to paint the pool, what's the process look like to kind of take out all the water and fill it back in?
You literally have to. I have a sump pump, a portable sump pump that I use. I've done it about 3 times in 23 years. So you put the pump in and you pump the water out. Just get a hose and you pump it out. It's a 2-inch hose that I use, and I pump it out. And once you dry it, you paint it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
What's really fun, my kids all skateboard, so they'll board in there for a few days,
Yeah.
And it's fun. It really is. I did it years ago. I did it. Like the first time I painted it 20-something years ago, I could board still. I wasn't injured, so it was so fun, man. And then all the kids help paint.
Yeah.
And it's just like painting a house. You get a roller, you get a tray, and you paint it by hand, And it's relatively inexpensive too. I think it only cost me about $600 to paint this the last time I did it. So
Okay. Yeah.
it cost me more to paint my kitchen.
Okay. And then overall, what do you think? What do you think is harder to maintain, an indoor pool or an outdoor pool?
Indoor pool. Low maintenance. It doesn't get dirty except for like every once a year I have to vacuum the dielectric earth dust. You can see it. And you want to go through that?
Sure.
To vacuum it? Okay, so it's pretty easy. Oh shit. So I'm gonna pull this out for my chemicals. And I use this one, it's got a filter in it for the dust. That's the last time I cleaned it. So you can see it's not very much, but pretty easy. I'm gonna put a new one in. I mean, you could reuse the old one, and I do reuse them. Oh, shoot. So, self-filter sack. Put your basket in. Now we're going to get our hose. I guess we can do it. It doesn't take very much.
And how often do you do this again?
I think like once every 8 months,
Once
once
a
a year, So, usually I have a kid helping me. You gotta get the skimmer or the vacuum. I probably can't see the dust on the bottom, but there is a little bit of dust. So you have to fill this with water first, or you'll create a lot of air in the lines. So this is one of the returns, and I'm just filling the hose up with water. And most outdoor systems, it's done exactly the same way. Some of them have the automatic, what they call the octopus, and they just plug in the hose to the octopus, they let it go.
Yeah.
And I guess I could do that here, but I don't have it. Put it right in the middle. Now this is the only really tricky part. You should turn the heater off. And then you have to isolate just the pool. So this is the pool side, this is the spa side. So I'm going to turn off the spa side. And I'm just going to do the pool. So these two valves also are, if you switch them the other way, you'll have your hot tub usage then. You also got to take the main drain and turn it off. So that's the one on the bottom. So the main drain or intake is at the bottom and on this side here. And now we're just using the side. So you also, I'm sorry, man, you want to, again, get the air out, and if there's water coming through it, there's no air in your line. So it should create a good vacuum. Okay, now Matt, you're going to demonstrate how to vacuum, right? Your dad did too. So now you create a real vacuum, a real suction with this thing. And again, you can't see the dust, but it's there. Okay. So I'm just turning the jets, or the returns. So he can see.
And just out of curiosity, how come you have carpet on the?
Okay, if you have tile in the winter, first of all, you're going to slip like crazy, or cement, and it's going to be so cold you're not going to want to swim. And the only way you could remedy that is to put in radiant heat, and it just never was done. This was built in 1973, so we just never did it. And, the carpet is indoor, outdoor. It's pretty new and it dries. We were all swimming yesterday. This carpet was soaked. Well, it's perfectly dry already.
I have my socks on and
it dries out like that. So when we have a big party and it gets soaked wet, it may take a day, but 4th of July, we had a bunch of people there swimming. The 5th of July, we had a couple of showings and the carpet was completely dry. And it's more comfortable, safer.
Yeah.
One of the big reasons. Because I thought about it when we did this carpet, because we replaced this carpet 2 years ago. I thought about tiling it or the cement, and it would suck,
Yeah. So this kind of helps to keep it warm during the winter time.
And that's one of the main reasons why we kept the carpet, so you can swim in the winter.
Okay.
Because you would never even want to come in or it'd be so cold all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And believe me, it gets 90 here in the winter, and it's hot. When you run the dehumidifier with the heater, it can get hotter than it is right now.
Yeah.
And it usually is hotter because it's enclosed.
Yeah.
And what I like about this is you open the screens, and, it's a nice flow. It's almost like being outside. And the good thing about this, you get a couple of centipedes. But see the bottom intake down there, a lot of times the centipedes will float down there and get sucked in. So, usually I don't have to do it.
Okay.
But
So it's
like
very
I said-
rarely where you come in and you like with an outdoor pool, typically like leaves get in there,
Right,
random
and that's
stuff.
the biggest problem, leaves
Yeah.
in an outdoor pool. And we got all kinds of trees and no leaves.
Yeah.
That's the best.